Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Insider Twins. Today, we're talking about smart cities. This was actually a request from one of our listeners, so we're gonna fucking go!
Let's jump right in.
All right. Okay, what are smart cities, Lucas?
That's a good question. Why don't you start with a definition?
All right. All right. So basically, smart cities use technology to make the urban life more efficient, sustainable, and increase the quality of life. Obviously, there's can be discussions on what kind of technology this is. This is usually, let's say, smart traffic lights, anything that has to do with traffic, waste management. I think we have something lined up for that as well later, don't you?
Oh yeah, man. These are some disturbing data there. But keep listening for that, of course.
All right, all right. Then obviously that we talked also about sustainability because as we know, older cities they have different the way they're structured, etc. They're usually not efficient in terms of if you use a car, it's super wasteful in terms of I don't know, you have to use fuel, etc. and
Yeah, I
whatnot.
mean, but it's also you have to consider like how are actually cities grown, right? So
Oh
especially
yeah.
most of the cities in Europe, they're like let's say Paris or whatever, right? These cities are just like super old or London. And they were like built for like different standards or different transportation, different houses. So like streets are not wide enough, etc., which then also like limits it. So like this is also I think one of the biggest problems that current cities are facing is that they have to work what's already given with them because like starting from scratch the city is like it's horrible. Well, it's like not feasible because it's too expensive, and like cities grow over like this like centuries. Well, it could be decades, but centuries. And yeah, then you just have to little by little upgrade it. So maybe, for example, in Barcelona, metro systems, etc. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, talk about Barcelona. Barcelona, did you know that is actually one of the lead examples for smart cities that's actually doing really well?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, just look at the infrastructure for bike for bikes, right? So like I mean, let's get a little bit into the history. So for example, Barcelona hosted in '92 the Olympic Games, and for the Olympic Games, they completely like in Barceloneta, like they or in Villa Olímpica, so where basically they completely removed all the fabrics that were there. I think Nissan was there. And then it's just start building like houses as well as the entire metro system. Before I think it had only like one line, and yeah, it's just like one of the examples where
Man, that
yeah.
was crazy. We we were just another last week or 2 weeks ago. We were at a friend's place, and we watched a YouTube like I don't know 9 minute video of it of the history of Barcelona. It was ghetto before.
Oh
Damn.
man, crazy. Like it's just like people without electricity to like or like some houses without running water till like early 90s. So yeah, it was like it was a different city. Now you in 2023 looking at it, it's like Barcelona super fancy, well at least some districts. But yeah, coming back to the infrastructure, right? So we got a little bit distracted there. And like you can see it now, especially since the pandemic started, that there's more and more bike lanes. So what actually Barcelona is doing, they're pushing out more and more the cars. So basically they're reducing, for example, if it's 2 lane street, they're reducing it to one and making the other one accessible by bike, as well as just like separating the lanes, which is like really really nice. And of course they people who have never been to Barcelona or the ones who have been, I'm sure they've seen the red bikes. They are like city bikes. So you have every corner, you have like, or every 2 blocks, you have like a station where you can like put your bikes there, like a city
And
bike.
another thing, also, what they're doing is they call it green blocks. So
Hmm.
basically, they create mega blocks of I think there are 4 blocks in total, and then they have a pedestrian zone in the middle. So the principle of this is that you have anything that you need. That means grocery store, hairdresser, all this stuff in one of these mega blocks that you can reach by foot, thereby creating, um, well, thereby rerouting the traffic around these mega blocks so that the cars flow in that way, and then they can also adjust the traffic lights. And in the meantime, in these mega blocks, you have more for the people that live there. They can have pedestrian zone and they have restaurants to sit outside. Super super cool.
I mean, also think about the air quality, right? It gets just like so much better because there's not that much pollution because the cars are not going running through it, and it looks so nice. Like they already finished with one. I think it's in Champla, Gracia. I'm not sure. And they're just
Oh,
like
okay,
so
it's too
cool. Just
early.
you can just like walk through it, and it's just like cool, like cow, like with like benches everywhere you can sit. It's really, really nice. They're making it really, really nice. And I think the next project is also about creating more natural shade in the city. So excited how that's going to turn out.
Oh, really? I've never heard about
Yeah.
this. Why? How?
Um,
And what is natural shade? You mean like trees?
yes. So Adri, Mark told us about that, or told me about it.
Ah,
That's the next project that they're working on. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So let's see how they're gonna. I mean, I don't know. Let's see whether they're putting like more like plans or how they're planning to do that. So I'm excited for that one as well. So yeah.
makes sense though, because if you reduce the sunlight that hits the concrete, it will not be as hot, and thereby makes sense. I like it.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But in general, I think Barcelona is a great example. But Mark, talking about this, do you want to talk about the line?
The line, the oh my god, there's so many of them. All right, the line, the octagon, Sindala, Trojena or Torgena, whatever, and the cube.
Trojina, like
That sounds like a
Trojan.
condom brand, bro. Trojena. No idea, bro. All right. So talking about smart cities, I mean, all right, everybody knows now a little bit what smart cities are. And Saudi Arabia in their initiative for 2030, in their vision
2029.
2030. No, it's the vision 2030,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
2030. That's what it's called. Um they have announced a few projects that are insane. They're basically all about future cities in the future, smart cities, whatever you name it, crazy, they're building it. First
Yeah.
off, we're introducing the line. So the line is basically going to be a 170-kilometer long city. I'm going to show you that. That's, I think,
Yeah.
500 meters tall and 400 meters wide. So they want to have a city that is more on the vertical versus on the horizontal. So they
Yeah.
have this principle of 5-minute blocks. So that you should reach anything that you need within 5 minutes, because you can now also move on the vertical and on the
Which is
horizontal.
similar to what Barcelona is doing with the super blocks, just like they're starting from scratch with building entire city.
Yeah, and on a completely different scale, because they now have the vertical component
Yeah,
in there. Super
that's true.
crazy. And then they have this is obviously they're not going to build 170 kilometers right away, but they're
Yeah.
going to have units or neighborhoods, what they call it. So they have it like a Lego system where they build one, then the next one, and then the next one. Crazy. So think about, I don't know, a 400-meter tall skyscraper on one
What?
side and a 400-meter tall skyscraper on the other side. They're covered with not, well, just glass on each side, so that obviously the light goes in naturally. And in
Yeah.
between, there's 400 meters of room. So this is what it's going. I mean, we have to upload a picture. We're going to show you the picture. This is insane. This is going to cost, I think, $1 trillion. A
It's
trillion.
it's crazy, the project. I mean, but they already reduced the size of it. So like from the thing is supposed to have like 40, 45 metro stops, and now they're reducing it to 9. Um and like it's like super interesting the concept of it, but man, like so many costs. I mean, we don't have to talk about all the potential risks, or like especially like working in Saudi Arabia, like the human rights and all that stuff, which might have an impact on the project. But the idea of it is cool. Also, I saw like criticism on it, that actually the production, or like creating the city, produces like 6 times more pollution than what UK is polluting each year. But just the construction of it. But again, it's just like if you create anything, it always there's pollution involved. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, also I'm no expert at it at all, but it's just interesting to see. But yeah,
Honestly, sometimes I think like they live in a different world than we do. They're like, you know what? We live in an MMORPG, and they like a full gear. Have 1,000 gold. I don't
uh,
know, 1,000,000 gold in a World of Warcraft. And it's like, what can we build? Oh, Minecraft. They have a fucking playthrough, and you know what? What we're gonna build? Something impossible. Let's fucking build it.
but, I
Talking about
mean,
impossible, they also have the next thing. It's called the Oxagon, which is basically, well, it's an octagon that is floating where they're gonna have all the shipments come. It's basically an
yeah,
industrial
port,
complex and port. Yes, insane. Doesn't it
crazy.
look? There we go. Look, this is Cinderella
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like,
here.
yeah. Also, Mark, show please the other one, Oxagon again.
All right,
Let's do it again.
Oxagon.
Oxagon. Here we go.
This
Nice.
is
Look at it,
Oxagon.
man.
Oh
It's
wait, you
just
have to go up.
like crazy and they're all building at the same time, right? So and now let's
Until
go
2030.
Turgina.
All right.
Uh
This
so
is actually
Turgina.
wild. That's
Yeah,
a
so
fucking snow resort in Saudi Arabia.
yeah,
Do they even
in
have snow there?
barely, rarely. And they'll need to pump the water for the snow cannons from the Red Sea. So that's one
Yeah,
thing,
into
and
this
that
lake,
is
right? They're gonna have
and
this
well,
lake, and
and the
then
lake is all like artificial, right? So they're creating
yeah,
this lake from scratch. It's just crazy, and I mean. This is for actually they want to finish this by 2029 for the Asian Winter Games because they won the rights to host them or at least partially, which is crazy. Like think about it, it's all like there's no like all barely any snow and they can just create all of it. But yeah, a lot of electricity and of course water. And now let's open again the line mark just to show the people
oh, the line. All
show the
right,
people what they want to see.
all
So
right.
yeah, the line, I mean, it's just like a interesting oh, we know that guy, the Asian guy, the
This
astrophysicist.
guy. Look. This is from the outside, and they will have
Wow,
all this in the inside.
this inside, it's crazy. I mean, to be honest, when it's
Here.
done, I'm sure it's worth visiting and seeing. But yeah, it's crazy. It looks fantastic. Okay, Mark, let's go back.
All
So
right.
stop.
All right, sorry, we got distracted. So this was a rabbit hole that I fell down to today, and I just want to talk about it because I thought it was super cool. There's another thing that we didn't talk about. It's the cube. It's also insanely large. It's basically the size of multiple Empire State Buildings.
Crazy.
Insane, super cool. I think they're gonna build the future in there. I mean, if you have the money, why not build it? So super cool. I think there's going to be great opportunities for engineers in the future. So if you're a good engineer and
That's also
architect,
what I'm wondering,
all that
Mark.
kind of stuff.
Do you think like in engineering, there's like a like for example, if you are a football player or a soccer player, you want to live in you want to play in the Spanish league, right? So the Spanish league is the premier, is the best league, one of the best leagues there. And then basically,
That's
if you're like in
The Premier
and
League for architects.
yeah, it's like if, if you go to Saudi Arabia or Dubai or wherever and you just like start help building
Hundred
there like
percent,
this
100%.
enormous constructs. It's like their own league. I'm assuming there must be something like this because like otherwise, yeah, crazy.
I mean, so the physicist, he's in there as well. He was like, "Hey, I'm taking the money. Let's go."
Yeah, of
I don't
course.
blame the guy. I mean,
Neither would I. All right, Mark. Now that we talked about the future,
oh, let's go talk about waste.
exactly. I was thinking, topic was garbage. I was playing with Mark yesterday, so because he always is garbage. So let's stick with that one.
Ooh,
Ooh, yeah, buddy.
emotional damage.
All right, guys. Well, Mark, how much garbage do you think an average person in the US creates annually?
In kilos.
Well, I have pounds here, so
Well, it's 2.2.
yeah,
In pounds per year, 300
yeah.
pounds.
What? No, it's not even close.
More or less.
Less. No more.
I don't
Sorry.
know. More than 300 pounds of garbage.
Yeah, yeah. I had
400.
to I had to convert it into normal human beings kilos. So no more, way more.
Bro, I don't know.
A thousand
1,000
six
pounds.
hundred, 1,600 pounds, a thousand six
How
hundred
does that
ninety.
even work?
So like trash food. So if you throw out food, it's all considered waste, right? Actually, so the biggest distribution is like food, plastic, paper, metals, wood, etc. So it all considers as trash. All right, Mark. So that's like 750 kilos. How much garbage do you think the average like man or woman creates in Europe?
So we had 1,200?
600, 1,600 pounds in
200.
US. Wow, 1,000 pounds. So it's like 40% less. Crazy,
Ah,
crazy
okay.
numbers though. But yeah, just like to a difference. All right. So in general, what we're seeing, that people like there's more and more trash happening, as well as that's why like the waste management industry. So I want to talk about now about industries that don't seem sexy, but they actually are sexy. So I will also make
Ooh.
a case why you should start a company in this. And yeah, today's waste management. And just to give you, Mark, what do you think is the market size of waste management just in the US?
I mean, if you use it, look, there's a lot of pounds produced per capita. It's
Yeah.
1,600. There's 300 million people there. So times one, bro, it must be, I don't know, 300 billion at least.
So the market cap right now, market size right now, 654 billion. It was in 2021.
Damn.
And by 2030, it will be over a trillion, like a 1 point,
Really?
yeah, one almost 1.1 a trillion, a bill, so yeah, a trillion by 2030. So it's growing like with the annual compounding rate of 5.8%, which is crazy. Just think about it. It's just trash, 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 right? Also, like
Mhm.
I look like, but what companies exist there? I
Wait, that
mean,
actually reminds me of something, Lucas. Sorry for jumping in. I've seen this a lot also on Instagram posts, and I think also on My First Million they talked about this. There's millionaires, there's like 1-800 trash or something,
yeah, junk.
right?
1-800 got
Junk.
junk, got junk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, and now it's even like more. Like I will make the case
Lucas,
in a
tell them,
second.
tell the listeners to what it is.
So, 1-800 got junk is basically, in California at least, if you have like paper, whatever, or junk, you have to call somebody so they can pick it up for you. And like
Because
paper,
because the
yeah,
waste management in the US is different than in Europe, right?
yeah,
Here we pay with taxes for it. So if you have garbage, you just, well, you pay for it and they pick it up, you have it coming in. And so they in the US it's different. So you have to call this number and they do this. It's all privatized.
yeah,
And this guy made millions,
yeah.
tens of millions of dollars, just basically collecting garbage. You just call the number and it's like, hey, come by my place. I got,
It's
and they,
crazy.
you pay per kilo or something like that. Well, per
It's
pound, whatever, or
yeah,
whatever.
it's it's
It is
a
insane.
it's amazing. So, Mike, all right. So we now got this market size. Then the one of the biggest players, his name is Waste Management Inc. It's like wow. It's like wow. Okay, I
Monster
guess
Inc.
the I was exactly. It's like very very great naming. So okay, that one is basically, but it's super interesting. So this company never heard of, and a 71 billion market cap, right? And what do you think is the profitability of a like a waste management company, Mark? What are you guessing?
Profitability.
Yeah, so like how much profit do they make?
Okay, so first of all,
Percentage.
are they collecting garbage or are they recycling the
No, I'm
garbage?
gonna stick with the Waste Management Inc. It's like a 71 billion company, right?
I know,
The
what do
market,
they do? The recycling or the
just collecting, recycling. It's a big company, bro. They do a lot.
50%?
Oh no, it's not that big, bro. Nah. You didn't give me the bro gas. You didn't give me the pro gas, I guess. No, it's 12.7%.
Hell no, motherfucker. That's still a lot. Double digits. I
Yeah,
mean, this is
it's
a
great.
real world. This is not tech stuff.
Yeah.
But the
So
way you
that's
pumped it up, I was like, damn,
yeah, I
boy.
mean I am still like 12 point something percent. That's almost 30%. It's a lot. All right, Mark. So now coming back, why is now the time, right? So it's like why should you start now a trash company, right? Or trash management, waste management company?
Tell
So
me, why should I?
first of all, growing market, right? So you have annual compounding rate of 5.8%.
Mm-hmm.
Second, environmental concerns and regulations. So you're seeing more and more, like in US, more and more states have more regulations on it, etc. So that means like people have to pay more for it because it's very stricter. And you can also be like very specific, very niche, right? So, for example, technological advances, for example, that help in different recycling processes. So you can go very, very niche, because like
Mm.
you have like
So
different
you can
sectors,
implement
right?
yourself, exactly. You can implement yourself, well, among the chain, basically. So
Yeah,
either you can start at the collecting, all the way recycling, or even after it is
yeah,
recycled, you connect in.
exactly. You can also like, for example, you can go to like municipals, or you can go to industrial, hazardous waste, recycling. So there are different niches, right? So you can just like, oh, I prefer doing this because like it doesn't mean you have to always go to the people's houses and just collect the trash, right? But it also means that companies, because the regulations, they have to comply with all these regulations. So you're like, hey, you know what? I will take care of your trash, and so you can just go to other companies, right? So you can do the
You,
B2B play.
you know who actually works on recycling? The
Who?
guy from the gym, the El Campeon. Bro,
Yeah.
this guy works with recycling. Yeah, man. They do all the plastic recycling for shoes and all that stuff. and
Well,
it's
look at
really
it.
good business, really good
Yeah, look at
family
it.
business. We should talk to them. It's
Yeah,
really cool.
it makes sense.
Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
There's
Lucas, do
definitely
we
no
got
financial
anything else?
advice.
All
My
right,
pleasure.
all right. That was definitely a surprise for me. I really liked it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's it for the part
No,
we got
wait,
today.
wait.
Whoa,
We
whoa,
totally
okay.
forgot. So, everybody, if you like this part, please share it with your friends, give it a like. And of course, Mark, that's the part.
Peace.
All right, guys. See ya.